The Nigerian business climate is no doubt fraught with many challenges, ranging from inadequate supply of foreign exchange, inadequate electricity supply, poor access to long-term funds, multiple taxation, inconsistent government policies, among others. Well, these challenges have so far affected the country's trade pattern, as the nation recorded 3.03 trillion naira trade deficits in the third quarter of 2021. While total foreign trade grew to 13.3 trillion naira in the same period, making up of 8.2 trillion naira imports and 5.1 trillion naira exports. As we look forward to the year 2022, analysts are of the view that a holistic policy review to reduce importation and improve our non-oil exports should be a top priority for government to boost the production base of local manufacturers. Well, to make more sense of this and a little focus on the ICT space, of course, the Nigerian trade pattern, I have with me here President of the Computer and Allied Products Dealers Association of Nigeria, Captain Mr. Adeni Ahmed Ojikutu. Good afternoon, Mr. Ojikutu, and compliments of the season.
Thank you very much, Tolu. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I would like to start this way. The COVID-19, before COVID-19 struck, a lot of positives from the ICT space. We saw all that we were seeing, figures coming from the NBS and agencies showing that the sector was growing at a very, very good pace. But when COVID struck, ICT was also like almost the beneficiary of that same effect, because many people had to switch to online meetings, and so one way or the other, ICT was. But take us through or paint the picture of what it looked like at that time before it now went off, and now Omicron is back. How has it been really with business within the ICT space?
Okay, thank you very much. The ICT sector has been a blessing for our nation, and for the fact that all over the world, this sector is the determinant of progress and success, going forward into the new world. Nigeria is not definitely left behind. Yeah. Now, when you look at the Q4 2012, you can see that the contribution of the ICT sector was 7.7% as at 2012. And by 2019, it was 10.6%. So by 2020 Q2, it was 14.3%, which was, an unprecedented contribution, which made everybody go clapping for this sector. And the COVID was probably an advantage for this sector. However, when you look at the figures from 2012 to 2020, it has doubled its contributions. So therefore, this sector has consistently grown, if not for one or two drops in between. But the story is this sector is doing what it's supposed to do, considering being a front runner of the new world, and Nigerian ICT sector, doing its own best to not be left behind. However, if this contribution is, applauded by all of us, are we where we are supposed to be? The answer is no.
No.
We need to do more. And doing more is that the potentials are there. When you look at the performance of the people in the fintech, you look at the business aspect. Though when you look at the Global Innovation Index 2020, Nigeria was about 114 out of 147 countries. When you look at the report again, you see that the business contribution, Nigeria was about 60 something, but in innovativeness, we are not yet where we're supposed to be. But this sector, if well harnessed, is not just going to be, already it has surpassed the contribution of the oil sector, so it's going to be the front runner of driver of development economically in Nigeria, and what have you.
I want to looking at these projections now, but before we go there, let me shift our attention now. But let's stay on this. I'm thinking about Forex. And when I think Forex, I think your kind of business. I think ICT business. And we've seen what the scarcity or the shortage, I don't know which will be appropriate, but I know both of it is what we face with regards to the foreign exchange market, particularly with dollars. And we've seen what the central bank has consistently done to try to defend the naira. Now, how has this affected price? We know how much we used to buy some things before now. Okay. And it continues to go on that high side.
Recently, I said something that the CBN, and some people took me up, like, okay, Ochikutu, why will you say the duty or the functions or the main function of the Central Bank of Nigeria is not basically to regulate the foreign exchange market? But I said that is one of a lot of physical and monetary functions that they have. It's just one of it. Inflation is there and a lot of other regulations and all that, banking regulations and all that. True. But, the CBN has been, overburdened by the pressure of, because Nigeria economy is not designed, is designed in a way that is not supposed to be. We are a monolithic economy whereby anything that happens to the oil and gas sector, either there is a shortage in production or there is a fluctuation in the prices of oil, crude oil, I mean, the value of Nigeria, it will affect revenue generation for Nigeria, and subsequently it will affect our trade balances, and when it does, the economy is on its knees, and it will affect the foreign exchange. A solution, I'll come to how it affects us and what we can do. But a solution to this, on a general perspective, is that every economy should try as much as possible not to be an economy that will just be an importing economy. So Nigeria economy is about, everybody wants to go to China. You want to buy something from China. You want to buy from Europe. You want to buy from the US. And what have you. Both junks and things that are not supposed to be imported. And at the end of the day, we call them trade, we call them business. It's good. But if there is balancing of it, that the containers aren't going back empty. That means that people will sort for naira as well, and it will regulate the value of naira. That is, that is the basic economic principle that is taught in year one in any university. If you want your currency to be valuable, you have to make sure that other people, be a productive economy and exports. Then people will be looking for your currency everywhere. When they look for it, it's form of jack up the value for your own currency. Like now we are looking for dollars. Everybody wants to buy dollar, to buy in China, to buy in Europe, to buy in America, and at the end of the day, the demand keeps going, the prices keep going up against our naira. But if it is that people in America, people in China are looking for naira, that means our own naira, the value too will automatically go up. Be that as it may be, what we should do is that Nigeria should try as much as possible to encourage the small businesses and micro businesses, and we increase the value chain of production in Nigeria. When we increase the value chain of production, that means the small business in Badagry, or the small business in Kaduna, or the small business in Yenegua will be able to create markets for their products in Ghana, in Cote d'Ivoire, in South Africa, in Europe and in America, or in China even. Because if you do not increase the value chain, that means you will be exporting, or no nation, no economic does that no more. And that will keep putting pressure on Nigeria, on the, devaluing Nigerian currency, because we'll be chasing naira to do the one-way traffic business, just importation without exporting. Going to how it has affected prices, the implication is that what we have created in Nigeria is, cost pool inflation for products, phones, computers, speakers, gadgets, technology equipment, all of them has gone high. Why? Because the money that was exchanged for 473, 450 as at a year ago is now 578 naira to $1 as at today. So the same commodity, the same value, the same mobile phone, the same equipment would be sold at a higher price. True. So when the cost is higher at the buying point, that means the value that is sold in Nigeria will be higher. And if this is a necessity, for instance, the mobile phones, the equipment that are moving away from luxury to necessity, look at the schools. Everybody needs a laptop for education. Almost everybody now. People are going online to do the to get educated now, and people must buy. For the fact that the prices has gone up against the dollars, it will automatically affect the price that is sold in Nigeria, and is not of benefit to the sellers. Ask me why. Because the simple economic principle is the higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded. So if the quantity are lower, it does not pay the Nigerian businesses. True. So therefore, making sure at the economic level that will create an economy whereby people will sort for Nigeria is a government function. Create an enabling environment, make sure all the productions, from the little things that is done with coconut in Badagry, package it to things that are done in Yenagoa, things that are done in Kaduna, things that are done in Plateau. We have so many, make sure that we create them to a value for exports. The moment they have value for exports, the better for our economy at the macro level. And at the micro level, it pays every small businesses as well. Because somebody that has a business somewhere in Nigeria, a small business, will have a customer abroad. And when you have a customer abroad, that means the person will be attracting dollars. And these are the ways that the economy can survive, the economy can grow at its own pace, not that will be depending on the revenues from oil. It's too risky for us going forward.
Very, very, very interesting conversation. Now, let's not look at other issues very briefly around the market now, relocation at a time, and other issues. What is the update with regards to that, and where do we stand with regards to that issue?
Basically, the idea of market relocation in Computer Village has been arched like 2005, 2007, when Ashwaju was the governor of Lagos, and as at that time there was a vision that the present Computer Village will grow, it will develop, and nobody knew that it was going to develop to this extent. However, as it is now, the subsequent government or the government, I'm not saying the governor alone, because including the executive council, has supported this move up to the present government, and there is a very high, development going on at the new site, which is the Katangwal, ICT Park. It's going to be a business park that is going to include innovation center. That excites me. Do you know what that is? That means people can develop ideas, people can develop application, people can learn how best to develop on their technical knowledge. So it's not just going to be the buying and selling thing. It's going to be a value creation, knowledge-based hub, which is the standard everywhere. We cannot continue, doing business the same way it's done, some 15, 20 years ago. So that is a good trajectory. By 2023, already the site is ongoing. The development is very rapid in the new site. So the movement is, supported by government. It's a government initiative, and the people are, in line. And that is the future of ICT in Nigeria and in Africa.
Good. Almost finally now, Twitter is still down. We all know that that's not news. And we see a lot of moves by the government to strengthen the ICT space, but sometimes we still see some policies coming on the other hand that tends not to encourage the youths to get into the ICT space, which takes us to the unemployment level that we have in this country. How do you think we can take advantage of this sector, create jobs, and what can government do to make the environment more conducive?
Okay, what can government do?
Good.
Okay, number one,
Yeah.
government should, there are executive policies that are already in place. The executive order 5, for instance, and some others. Policies are good, but implementation are more important. Even some people are of the opinion that even the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria is one of the best, constitution that you can think of. But the implementation is the issue. So in Nigeria, it's not as if there are no policies. If the government has given an order that, every government parastatal, multinationals should patronize Nigerian software developing companies to a tune, if Nigerian has an expertise in any field or in any area, do not bring an expert into Nigeria for the same thing that a Nigeria can do for you. Going further, if government follow through its policies and its implementation, the advantage is that it will help develop this sector holistically. So the brains are there, the people are there, the young people need an enabling environment. When you patronize those software companies, you patronize those local companies, definitely Nigeria will not just be an importing nation, but Nigeria will be a value creation, an OEM. Then we have series of OEMs in Nigeria. Then when we have series of OEMs that produces a made in Nigerian product, and people are coming here to patronize them, I'm telling you, the trade balance will change from deficit to surplus for us. And the asset that we have, the youth unemployment is 42.5%. 2021 is unacceptable. Nowhere in the world that you leave the strength of the nation, which is the youth, you leave them, unemployed, and the worst of it is underemployment. People that are going out every day and earning below what they are expected to earn. So these things are things that government needs to. ICT sector is an advantage. Increase the skill set. Encourage people to expand their business. People are getting into the business and they are getting stuck. So encourage them. Make sure that you take ownership of almost all those ops that people are. I was in Ekpe Ayetoro market, GSM market yesterday, and a lot of other Jankara markets, Computer Village, Alaba, and a lot of around Nigeria. These are people, youths that have not even seen 1% of government impact. And they are doing well in this sector. They provide solutions that no manufacturer taught them. Apple didn't teach them how to repair, and they repair and they provide any solution. All they need is that support. Let the government agency that are saddled with training, needs that, the Digital Economic Ministry, they should put, and all the state ministries of science and technology, they should go deep. There are resources there that belongs to everybody. Put these resources together, put these youths on the seats, put them in a conference, teach them educate them on how to improve on what they know. And these are direct impacts. And when this is done, at long run, we will all be happy that Nigeria is moving its trajectory to importing economy, to value creation, and a better economy. That is the solution. If not, 10 years time, God sparing all of us, I don't pray that we'll be here speaking
to this same one,
to a deficit trade balance in Nigeria, where the solutions are very simple and straightforward for a year one student to even implement.
Thank you so much. I'm going to have to leave it at that. Time flies when we are talking business. Thank you so much. I've been speaking to President of Computer and Allied Products Dealers Association of Nigeria, making sense of the ICT space, of course, and what we should expect. Good advice there to government. I'm sure they are listening to us and they will take from some of that what we have said. Happy New Year in advance.
Thank you, Tolu. Thank you, TVC. I appreciate you.
All right.